Video. Oh, all right, there we are. Shalom, shalom. Hey, what's up, Miss Paco?
Shalom, shalom.
Shabbat shalom. And hey, this is your Dre, your brother Dre, Shaul, your brother Shaul, coming to you live with the Akeem. This is Aki Shai. This is
Jimmy J, aka Yaakov.
Yaakov. This is Zamri Yahu, and that's Nabi Yahu. All right, and their families and everybody here don't want to get in the camera. They don't want to get in the camera, but we here live, and I just wanted to come live. I want to tell you what I'm doing right here. I did a part 1 video, which was a response to my classmate that brought that messaged me, and just hungry and searching, and I told my Aki Shah that I wanted to do a part 2, and basically addressing. I'm a follow-up to that video, which is now an addressing to people that are new to the covenant, searching, new to following this walk, following Yahuwah, and I wanted him to just go in on some things that are important for those that are just starting to walk, because there's a whole lot of pollution and craziness out there. We've been talking about a lot of stuff since we've been here. We actually came here for an immersion, and so now praise Abba for that. And so now we're just over here talking and stuff, and a lot of stuff is coming out and everything. But I just asked Ak to go in and just talk to people who are new believers or new to the covenant, or even searching, maybe have not fully come in yet, but the Ruach has got a hold of you. All right, so just a follow up, for my brother that my classmate that messaged me, and for others who are in that same place of searching. All right, so I'm gonna turn the camera around, and I'm gonna just let Aki Shah go in whatever the Ruach gives him, and Nabi Yahu with him. All right, much love. We love y'all. All right, we there.
Habu Shalom, man, Baraku Yahuwah, Rumamu Yahuwah for the immersions. And that's what it is, the new believers coming in, and it's just Ruach, because I was going to do this video a little later in the week. But just welcoming new believers, man, those who are leaving the church of Christianity, those who are leaving Islam, those who are leaving Commit. I know I have an op in here that was Commit, and he was leaving Commit, you know what I'm saying? Those who are leaving those type of belief systems and coming into what we call and what we know to be the truth of Yahuwah. We just want to encourage you, you know what I'm saying? But, along with that is spiritual connotations to it, It's everything that we see, because Yahuwah is spirit, the fallen of spirit. We have spiritual things, we were just sharing about how the reptilians that's being promoted on television are true. Now, would you share that dream? You want to share that to the world, the dream? Yeah.
It's just, like he was saying, it's a great deal of evil. And that evil is in that form, which was the reptilians. They are what we know to be amongst us. So when you open yourself up to a lot of the shows and the music and all that stuff, and you still catering to that life, and you're a new believer, you're opening yourself up to the physical evil, the reptilian. So you have to separate yourself from that. The Most High has shown us these beings in people's homes. He's shown us these beings subterranean, under the ground, and people being, captive underneath their power, and they're being subject to them, and whatever is going down. So if you subject to that, you're subject to evil and death. So.
And Hazan 12, or what we call Revelations 12, it talks about the great dragon. The great dragon is Hashatan. Why does they call him the great dragon or the great serpent? Because based on my studies and based on the understanding of the book, he is over the serpent kingdom. That's why the first creature he uses to cause rebellion on earth is a serpent. And so, when you see that, you see this in the movies that we are promoting to this generation. When I say we, I'm talking about even Yaakov. People are taking up now, horror movies are becoming a big thing in the black community. You know what I'm saying? Bigger than what it used to be. Horror movies are taking over, and if you do any research, you'll find that they take Satanists, and they commission them, they hire them to do horror movies. That's why Rob Zombie, a rock star called Rob Zombie, he took over a lot of the horror movies and revamped them. That's why you see those things. Those things are given to bring spirits into your house. Anton LaVey said that the new satanic altar is the television. So as a new believer in Yahuwah, in order to hear his voice clearly without interference of different things in the spiritual world, you must submit yourself to him and hear clearly. That means you must get rid of the horror movies in your house. You know, matter of fact, Aki Sneblin, I talk about Aki Sneblin a lot when it comes to this type of stuff, because, you know, he says as many DVDs, horror DVDs, rock music and stuff in your house, you can count how many demons or regents are in your house. And what is a regent? A regent is designed as a spirit to take over that home. You know, Yahusha even said that. He said in order to get the house, you must do what? First bind the strong man. You know, and in order to bind the strong man, that strong man must subject himself to whatever spirit that he's taking in. You know, you have these movies that done came out. You know, I was talking about Heredity. You know, Heredity is supposed to be the new Exorcist. Those movies like The Exorcist, if you look at it, they had Catholic priests who actually volunteered, who actually were a part of that movie so that they can bring real Catholic rites in. Why? Because the Catholic Church worships the serpent. Matter of fact, if you look up under the necropolis or the city of the dead that's under the Vatican, they have a picture of Satan. You can Google this right now. They have a picture of Satan as a winged dragon in their Vatican. Matter of fact, if you look where, you can look this up, and I'm going to say this for teaching purposes, but the nuclear Jesus, look up the nuclear Jesus. That is the image or the statue of the abomination of desolation that sits behind the Pope. When you look at that stadium or that stage where the Pope is sitting there, pull back, and it's inside a serpent's mouth. That is a reptile's mouth. You can actually see the scales and the fangs and the eyes of a dragon. Well, you know what's amazing about that is Revelation says that he looked like a lamb but spoke as a dragon. It actually lets you know where that's coming at. So if you look into the Vatican, you see that they worship this serpent. So this serpent, this Nahash spirit, is not only coming from Hashatan, but those who are subject to him. So these horror movies, these different things that we entertain ourselves, even homosexual movies with homosexual connotations, those are introducing spirits to a new believer. So, you know, before we fully just welcome a new believer into the belief and say everything's going to be all right, this is not Christianity. There are instructions and commandments you must do to protect yourself. Matter of fact, another book, I think is Habakkuk, that means to embrace in the Abrit. The book of Habakkuk, man, I love that, the name. It says, don't even bring evil into your house to fight against evil. You know, that's bringing amulets and different forms of charms and medallions just because you feel like somebody may have a curse or a root on you or a hex on you. The commandment is don't even bring evil into your house to try to fight evil. Because why? Yahweh says when you bring an abominable thing into your house, your whole house is abominable. You cannot bring in abominable things. And it's coming into this, you begin to see so-called Hebrews who teach about amulets and charms and different types of metal to ward off evil. There is nowhere in there that you will see that. Why? Because Yahweh reigns over all evil. He rules over it, just like he rules over all good. They come subject to him. How do I know that? Yahusha, the man at Gadara, who had the 2,000 legion in him, them 2,000 demons in him, it says, what have I to do with you, son of Yahweh, or son of the Most High? And it says, bow down and worship him. The only one that they come subject to is Yahweh. So you must submit yourself to him. Psalms 91 says, those who abide under the shadow of the Almighty, you get what I'm saying, are protected. Those are the people that's protected. You cannot do this on your own. So you must walk in the Ruach. Go ahead,
one thing I like to add, you got to be careful with men, and men, I mean men and women, or who you deal with, because people have stuff attached to them. I mean, it's with them, and that's their life. They're very unclean, so you have to really clean yourself up and keep all the impurities off of you. For instance, I went in this place because I go in there to get some paperwork done. And I went back in this place, and something happened to me later on, and I was like, why am I seeing these things again? Why am I seeing all these unclean things again? The man was a homosexual. I was like, what is going on? So this happened to me again. So I went in the store again, and that time I caught it. I said, it's because of him. I knew it was gay. So I began to pray about it, and I began to review it. And later on that night, it didn't happen to me that time. These unclean beings were trying to attach themselves to me, like if you jump on a pole and hug on it. That's the ruach of homosexuality. It hugs you and it doesn't want to let you go. It's forceful.
Wow.
So
And that's funny that you say that because, you know, I showed you the gay manifesto that they wrote. And the gay manifesto, you can Google it. It's the manifesto of homosexuality. They say we will be at your YMCAs. We will be in your locker rooms, in your courthouses. We will be at your schools and in your kids' bathrooms. We will rape your children. Remember I showed you that. Check out the gay manifesto. That spirit is aggressive. It's just not a light spirit. You can see that in Body or what we call Genesis 19, where they were saying, if you don't give us these men in your house, we shall do you the same and worse as we'll do to them. That spirit is not a light pansy spirit. Why? Because it's attached to a masculine spirit.
That's right.
It's a masculine spirit. So that masculine spirit, even though it's masquerading as a feminine spirit, inside there is a spirit of aggression. You get what I'm saying? You got to get rid of that spirit of aggression. We've seen that in multiple occasions. Matter of fact, I believe it's also in Shopatima Judges 18. You know, or actually Judges 19. You see that spirit is a spirit of aggression. So when you take on these shows and you watch these shows like Orange is the New Black and Queer as Folk and this and that, you may think it's entertainment, Modern Family and all that, where it's promoting the gay lifestyle as a way of being. That spirit is coming to take your house, your children, your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Or you. Right. Because if you're not walking in the Ruach, you can get that feminine spirit in you of homosexuality. You get what I'm saying? That's a transgender spirit. That's a spirit of perversion that's entering into you. So, you know, as a believer, we have to be careful of what we listen to, even the music that we have taken in. You know, if when we come into this, we still try to listen to the same artists. That's why I tell people you can't be a cussing believer. Because if the world is doing all that filth and using all that filthy language and filthy tongue, you can't be doing the same thing. You cannot have that spirit, because those foul spirits, the first thing they do when they're activated is what? Bring out words of curse. One of those words of curse is the F word. We found out that is a demon. That is a literal demon you can conjure up. So, you know, when you looking at this in a term of a new believer, you must part ways with the old man. And whatever the old man did, whatever the old man listened to, whatever the old man reveled in, you gotta let that go, because you gotta walk a life of Yasharim. Boy, I like that. It means a way of truth or truthfulness. That's in Numbers. I was reading that today, and it was and Balaam and Yahuwah made him birth out a blessing to Yaakov, and he said, if you're gonna follow him, you gotta be in the Yasharim, or the way of truth or truthfulness. You got to be in this straight way of truth. And that's why it's a narrow way. A narrow way can't bring in everything. You can't bring in listening to Tupac again. When Tupac named Tupac Amaru means shining serpent.
You must put away childish things. We speak in Kadush talk, but even outside of Kadush talk, when a man becomes a man or a woman becomes a woman, and you got a 5-year-old or 7-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever, you can't continue to listen to all this filth and expect your child not to get in trouble in school one day by saying the word or regurgitating the word somewhere in public, and then you want to pop them in the mouth. You can't do that, because you're feeding that to them. So when you become a man, you have to put all that away. And also, anything that's defiled, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow like a cancer. If it's like we were speaking with the same sex, that eventually is gonna become being a sodomite or child molestation, like it is in many countries. So that's what that's gonna fester into. So you have to cut that at the head. No matter what it is, it's unclean. In music, movies, whatever your addiction is, right, and all the above, it has to be done away with, or it's gonna take over you.
And that's a key thing, even in video games. People say, oh, that's just a game. They got a game out called Mafia 3. And it was going down my timeline. This dude was upset because they had a gay scene or a gay rape scene of mob bosses in there. That stuff is to open up doors. All those video games, the biggest thing I hear that's the most dangerous thing that can be said is it's just a game, or it's just a movie, or it's just music. You don't understand that there's spiritual connotations to everything that we put our hands to. And those video games right now, is a big realm of wickedness, because one thing is parents don't supervise their children anymore. They say, Mom, I'm going in here to play this game. Okay, have fun. Put their headphones in, listen to wickedness. Their eyes are being feeding wickedness from the video game, and now their hands. Whatever you yield your member to is who you serve. So you yielding your hands to this wickedness, and then you wonder why people have these school shootings. You get what I'm saying? I wanted to make this clear, before we end this. The Columbine shooting. They had a rock song by this German rock group called Rammstein. And Rammstein had a song called White Flesh. Well, it was talking about sacrificing white kids or Christian kids. Mm-hmm. So that's why that Columbine, they say, well, it was an attack on Christians. It wasn't an attack on the creator of the universe. It wasn't an attack on creator of the universe. It was an attack on Christians because the song Rammstein, the song White Flesh, they were playing this song when they went in to kill these people. It was a literal attack on Christians. And people say, well, this is the end times. No, that's not persecution. It was just the song said, in order to do this perfect sacrifice of white flesh, you must have a Christian. Wow. It's different. That's not a persecution of Christianity because it's the truth. It's because that song told them what ingredients they need to make the perfect sacrifice. So when I'm saying that is, all these things, begin to ask Yahuwah for discernment. Pray for discernment. Pray for understanding. Pray for wisdom. We call it hukmah. Understanding is banah. You get what I'm saying? Dot is knowledge. You need to be praying for these things when you come as a new believer, so that when you pray these things, Yahuwah will begin to lead you by His Spirit of what is the truth and what is real. So you won't be going into false doctrines, going into these things, because if you continue to entertain yourself with that filth, the Ruach is never going to be able to change that filthy man, because it's like binge eating. How can you go on a diet when you continue to binge yourself with these foods that's killing you? You get what I'm saying? You eating all this stuff and then saying, you know what I want to be thin, or I want my liver to operate right, or my kidney right. Oh yeah, I'm buying calories. You get what I'm saying? But it's the same thing in your spirit, man. If you trying to get a better understanding of Yahweh, then you sit down and watch American Horror Story, all the whole series and stuff, which is witchcraft. Angela Bassett is a witch. I tell you straight up right now. You can look into the history of it. If you feed yourself with that stuff, how can you ever expect to be cleansed how Yahweh want to cleanse you, to use you for this purpose? Because it's not just for us to come into the truth and believe. It's for us to believe and then to be proactive in the communities and cities around us. So if we never receive what we need to receive, how will we ever be effective in the kingdom?
Right. I want to add your children, especially if you got them in your home. You must, be aggressive and have backbone, and whatever the case may be. Let me see that phone. Check their messages, because if you're protecting yourself, the enemy is going to, forgetting about your children, he's going to fully go after your kids.
Right.
And whatever door is open, that's what he's going to come to. And he'll try to attack the children, even if they ain't in your house. When they come in your house, you got to lay it down on them. Like myself, if he coming out, I got to lay down the law on him. And this is what's going to happen. This is what it's going to be. This is what it's always going to be. You can't leave nothing open. So once you get, gird up your own loins, you got to gird up your children's loins too, and make you stay stern.
And that's a great point, because television teaches you now that all teenagers are rebellious. Everything, that's just a phase they go through. Every time you watch, just pay attention to every movie, even if it's a PG movie or a G movie. The child is always listening to metal music. The teenager, he's always aggressive. He got his door locked. If it's a female, same thing. Oh, Mom, don't come in my room, and this and that. They're trying to say that is the society's norm, so that they can feed your children, like you're saying. That's a great point.
Like that Snapchat and all that. It's a lot of pedophilia and things going on. So they could be, if you focusing on yourself or not spending a lot of time with them, they on there with somebody who don't never show their face or whatever, and they have become this child's friend. And that it might be casing your joint out, and you don't even know they've been watching your child. So you really got to lace them up and put down what's going on in your home as you being a parent and being a new believer.
That's why you give us that instruction.
Stern with your children, and they must obey as well. You can't give them no lead, but you got to tighten up even more.
So I just want to say, first of all, thank you to Abba Yahuwah for the Akeem, for the assembly, for the Muspaka that he's given me. Because I'm telling you guys that my life basically is transforming and lining up because of the people that I associate with. That the Abba will give you the people that are like-minded, of like precious faith, and have the same passion and fervor and that you have. And it's not hard when you have that. Let me tell you something as a new believer. I said that to say this. One of the things that makes this walk so hard is when we continually surround ourselves with people that play. If you surround yourself with people that are playing, it's going to be hard because it's always going to be a tug of war. It's always going to be a struggle. It's always going to be a straddling the fence. There's always going to be a can't make a decision. But when Yahuwah hooked me up with brothers that would say, okay, this is what Yahuwah says, and I can show it to you. If you're going to do something different, that's on you. But we can't play with what he says. What he says is what it is. If you do something different, that's on you. But we can't sit here and act like what the different that you're doing is right. If you don't have people like that around you, your walk is going to be hard. You know, so I know a lot of people, you know, are passive because, quite frankly, Christianity is taught, it's a gay religion. Right? So it's taught us to be passive. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the deity is gay. You know, so, you know, it is, yeah, it is what it is. So it's taught us to be passive. But this is not a passive walk. In our culture, it's not a passive culture. We are Yasharali. Right. We are in your face. This is what, it's this way or that way, make a decision. That's the way that it has to be. And as someone that's new to the covenant, new to the walk, my encouragement is that you surround yourself with people that are serious about Yahuwah. Because if you don't, not only is it going to make your walk hard, eventually you'll probably end up turning back.
And I want to make this clear too. That's what Apostle Paul, you call him, or we call him Akishao. That's what he calls perfecting Kadashim. It doesn't mean we have all the answers yet, because we're still studying, we're still praying. We open the book up and go through things that we may have questions on as brethren, because that's what they did. But it's perfecting Kadashim, or perfecting to be called out. King James says perfecting holiness. What does that mean? You are striving to reach that perfection one day. If you're not striving to reach perfection and you're just throwing at it, you're never going to meet that level that Yahweh expects you to be without spot and blemish. But you can be without spot and blemish. It's possible to perfect Kadashness. It's possible to be to that point, but you got to be willing to be obedient. I love that when Yahweh gave you that, because it says if you are willing to be obedient, you will eat the good of the land. You got to be willing and obedient. Not just obedient when people see you, but behind closed doors, you got to be obedient. And this is what we have to teach our children.
And not just willing.
Right. And not just willing.
Not
just willing to do it and not obedient. It's a balance. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh. A false balance is. So it's got to be a balance in our houses. I'm glad you shared that about our children. We have to be responsible parents to train up our children the way they should go. Train them up.
We're going to close this video out. Just going back with what Ox said, you know, about our kids, it's very, very vital. One thing that, because I've been dealing really heavy about that. I remember when I got divorced and my boys, you know, chose to live with me. I told them flat out how our house was going to operate. And Yahuwah made it clear to me that I could not compromise, that I could not put my love for them above my love for Him. That I could not compromise my house. So continually, I'm trying to do, first of all, get myself right, and then teach them. It lifted my heart when I saw Zama Yahu. He's not in the video, he's over there. The words that he spoke over his daughter when they were about to immerse him. It was life in what he said. I've never heard anything like that at any immersion in my whole life. I've been seeing baptism since I was a kid. The power of what, the understanding that he had and the things that he said. And then when Akishai came right behind with his daughter, it let me see that this thing right here is on a whole different level. It's on a whole different level. The things that he said, that was so powerful and impacted in my ruach so hard that I was just sitting there, standing there in awe of like, man, that's the ruach speaking. That's not even Ox speaking. That's the Torah.
Because Torah, the father is supposed to pray barakah. You get what I'm saying? But that right there was the barakah of a father over his body, over his daughter. So man,
that was powerful.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I'm trying to get my house in order, and getting your house in order always starts with you. You know, this has to start right here. It's what Ark was saying. He said, yeah, you got to start with you, but you can't forget about your seed. You know, and so if we're trying to do right, but then we're just leaving our kids to just do whatever they want to do, then we still want to answer to Yahuwah.
That's right.
You know, so we have to bring them along and have to teach them. And I just want to encourage you. I just want to encourage you because I know that sometimes people make things seem easier than they are. But I just want to encourage you that it's not hard. What Yahuwah says is not hard. The biggest thing is us getting out of pleasing people, whether it be kids, wives, husbands, family, mama, daddy. The biggest thing is blocking the people out around us and having a set focus on Him.
That's right.
That is the biggest thing.
Right.
When we know that He's commanded something and He said something, then we just have to be steadfast and do our best to walk in that. Just like Ox said, it's a process. We don't get it all right at first.
Right.
But every moment and every growing day, we should be perfecting Kadashis.
That's right.
And if we don't have it in our heart to perfect Kadashis, you know what that means? That means we're part of a religion somewhere. We are not in the covenant.
Good stuff.
We are part of a religion if we don't have it in our heart to perfect it.
Yeah.
All right, so I hope that helped you, and we're gonna continue with this. And I'm gonna try to bring the brothers in, and even the Akudi, even though they don't want to get on camera, we're gonna have to find a way to force them on camera because they got so much to share.
Hey, maybe that's why they got them
hajib.
Yeah. We put y'all in hajibs and y'all can go the way they don't see y'all.
They got so much to share.
Like
Man.
that.
They got
a hard job.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna keep. We're gonna keep building on this, and just do what the Ruach says. So, love you guys. Talk us out.
I just want y'all to know this: that we, as Watchmen of Yahuwah, we are commanded to first be on the wall to warn you, but we also commanded to love you. And something I keep seeing among social media is that we're not supposed to love the Edomite, and that is a lie. And the reason why I'm putting that out there because I see so many commandments that Yahweh tells us to love the Edomite, for he is our brother. And the reason why I'm putting that out there because even when I was reading the bar, or what they call Numbers, it says go to your brother and says your brother Yaakov wants to pass through. It was an actual, when they wanted to pass through Edom, they said your brother Yaakov wants to pass through. It was a relationship of two brothers. And why I'm putting that is we got people who are considered Gentiles. We need to treat them as a family. And we need to support them in their change in their belief system. So in this, under YAHUAH YAHUSHA, we are offering the right hand of fellowship to those who want to come in this and walk in Torah, not find loopholes in it to do whatever they want or to be spiritual.
Also, in Torah it said when you go out and beat your olive tree, you're supposed to leave something for the poor, the stranger, and the Levite. So that's 3 different people. So you just can't say, it's just for us when he told you to remember them, because we were strangers.
That's right.
And we're supposed to love the strangers. Yeah. And we are also soldiers. And he said he'll soldier with us. So, you can't be there.
Preach the good news to every creature.
Every creature.
And as Mishpaka of Yahuwah, we offer the right hand of fellowship to you to just welcome you to believe, whether you're black, white, Asian, Mexican, whatever you are, as far as what they have considered and classified race. Do the research on who made race, because it wasn't there at first. Do the research of that. You will be quite blown away by what you find, who invented race. But with that being said, as coming in the Mishpaka of Yahuwah, we all are the nation of Yasharal. And if you want to graft into the nation of Yasharal, you are welcome to do so. If you are willing to be obedient, be immersed into his truth, and be freed by the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hey, Sha'al, your boo said give her a shout out.
Hey, babe. I love you. I love you. Hey, okay, so first of all, let me say this. Shabbat shalom to you, baby. I love you. You like brighten my life. And for you, and you didn't realize that somebody else, you probably didn't see the video, so somebody else was actually holding the phone, so they saw your message and told me that you said to give me a shout out. That's why. Right. I love you, babe. I love you. And the Mishpaka, I can't wait to meet you.
So, can't wait. Can't wait. And shout out.
I'll call you in a few. All right.
Yeah.
I love you.
And like he said, shout out to the Akatuk that are with us. And Masha, they do have a lot of things to say. We will try to work that out to where they say what they say without not being on the screen.
Yeah, the last time I tried to get one of them on camera, I got rebuked.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, I'm looking at you.
Everybody in the belief system has something to say. Even our Yaladim, even our children, they are growing into this wisdom and truth of Yahweh. This is not just a man's religion. This is a whole family's religion. Noah whole family went on the ark. This is not just one man's journey. This is every man.
And clear up religion.
Right, right.
Don't mess them up.
They love religion.
Yeah.
I want
You know
to say
what you
that
mean.
it's not man's religion, because this is a belief system of fellowship, of family, of connection, and it's relationship. You get what I'm saying? I'm glad you had me clear that up, because it's relationship. That word religion is just like race. It's been categorized in what it is. But what he said, pure and undefiled religion, is to do for the widows and the orphans and their need. So there is a form of religion, but it has to be Kadash. It has to fit Yahweh's standard of religion. So what we're doing is bringing Yahweh's standard to you, not what we believe, not each man's idea, but Yahweh's standard for us all to live. So this is Yeshua Hassad ben Yasharal.
Boom.
And Akeem around us, we're supposed to drop their name.
Left you hanging.
And Ahabu Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Alzah Shabbayun.
Shabbat shalom.